We're talking about eggs today, and the hens they come from, based on a marketplace investigation you're going to see tonight, looks at all the options that you have nowadays: free range, nest laid, cage free, omega-3. Marketplace, as I said, got people talking about how hens are raised. There's lots of questions about the ethics of eggs right now. Turns out some of these questions have ruffled a lot of feathers. Take a look at this.
If a chicken's not happy, it won't lay an egg. That's it.
There are all kinds of ways so that they can breed hens to be basically industrial products. Doesn't necessarily mean they're happy. It means they're basically a machine.
I honestly don't care much about the treatment of chickens, and I'm probably the only person here who's going to say that.
So there you go, some of the debate that you will see as part of the marketplace investigation tonight. You're also going to learn that the egg farmers of Ontario, anyway, are phasing out those tight battery cages for hens. That's due to go by 2036, 20 years from now. So looking to the future, does a happier hen make for a healthier egg? We were wondering about that this morning. So we invited in a dietitian whom you're going to meet as part of the marketplace investigation tonight too, Christy Brissette. Back, nice to see you.
Nice to
again.
see you,
Thanks for
Heather.
coming in. Really appreciate that, and thanks for bringing my breakfast. This is so
You're very
great.
welcome.
I'm looking forward to 10 o'clock, and we'll have some of that. I wanted to ask, so many people, I eat eggs regularly. It's a staple of so many people's diets. So let's look at this. All of those ranges, the labels I was mentioning: caged hen, free run, organic, pastured. Is there a difference in nutrition? Do we learn tonight on Marketplace a difference in nutrition from the different kinds of eggs?
Absolutely. A bit of a spoiler alert for people who are watching this evening. But the organic eggs were actually found to be more nutritious than the conventional eggs. And then some of those other terms you mentioned, the cage-free,
Right.
the free-range, kind of fell in between the spectrum. But we found the organic eggs had double the amount of vitamin E compared to the conventional eggs, up to 5 times more vitamin E, and 30% more vitamin A. They also had a better ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, which is better from an anti-inflammatory standpoint.
Oh my goodness. So it's there. The test
The
prove
difference
it.
was
It is
there.
But of course, organic, this particular kind of egg, it costs a whole lot more.
It does. It's about double the price.
So it's worth it if you can afford it.
That's right.
Obviously. What if you can't?
So for those families who can't afford to go organic, there are other options available to get those same nutrients. You're still benefiting from the eggs because you're getting protein, you're getting choline in the egg yolk, which is important for brain health. You're getting iron. So there's still a nutritious food. And you can top yourself up on the vitamin D in a couple of ways. So with your oily fish, just by having a serving about the size of your palm, you're getting 100% of the vitamin D you need in a day. You can also have milk or fortified milk alternatives like almond milk, and that will provide vitamin D in your diet as well. For vitamin A, I brought a few kind of orange-colored vegetables, your squashes,
yams,
your sweet potato, even your melon. Basically, look for the orange color, and that's a hint you're getting some vitamin A. And for the vitamin E, nuts are a great source, especially your walnuts and your almonds. And you want to make sure that to get you more omega-3 fatty acids in your diet, that you can choose things like going for more of the vegetarian versions of omega-3s. So you're getting them from your fish. You can also get them from chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds. So there's some very good sources.
So if you're going to save money on the eggs, although it's interesting because you end up spending money on the other things to supplement.
Right. So it's kind of where do you want to spend in terms of nutrition? And I'd rather people have food than a supplement as well.
Okay, that's a really good point. All right, but that complete food that is the egg, I have more questions. Here it is. How often should you eat eggs?
That's a great question. And this is something that I think we'll see some changes in terms of eggs being pointed at as being something that's not heart healthy. Because there's some evidence that eating eggs regularly can actually raise your levels of HDL, which is a healthy cholesterol. And we now know that cholesterol in your food doesn't translate into cholesterol levels in your blood. It's really the saturated fats and the trans fats that we want to think about.
Okay.
So rather than pointing the finger at eggs, let's look at the overall diet and really try to focus on reducing overall saturated fat by choosing leaner meats, leaner poultry, lower fat dairy.
But if you don't have heart disease or a pre-existing condition, feel
so for
free to
healthy
eat
people,
eggs.
A couple eggs a day, there's no evidence that that's a problem. If you do have diabetes or heart disease, talk to your dietitian, talk to a doctor, just to make sure your overall diet is lower in those saturated fats.
Is there a way of cooking eggs that they are going to give you maximum nutritional benefit?
Well, there's a lot of kind of controversy or, I guess, myth out there about raw eggs being good for you or the heat damaging the nutrients in eggs. That's really not the case. And in fact, you want to cook your eggs so that you're at a lower risk of food poisoning. Raw or undercooked eggs can actually make you sick. This is especially important for pregnant women or for people who have a compromised immune system, so on cancer treatment, such as chemotherapy, for example. So you want to cook your eggs.
Sylvester Stallone in the Rocky movie
That's
where he
right.
cracks 6
or
into
the
a glass.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Exactly.
diet, probably not ideal.
Poaching, I mean, some kinds are, you don't put butter in, or you might, so there's some that are maybe a little bit more healthy from that standpoint. Poaching an egg, for example.
Poaching is great because you don't need to use any oil for that. Having hard-boiled eggs is wonderful. If you do like your fried eggs, if you're going out to a greasy spoon, they're going to be using plenty of butter, so that's where most of the saturated fat would come from. But you can always use a little kind of oil mister and just lightly spray your pan with that, and use a heart-healthy oil such as a light olive oil.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, here's my question. I have recently discovered egg whites. I'm kind of loving them. Which is better, egg white or egg yolk?
Well, I think we should eat the whole egg based on the findings of the marketplace study and just all of the nutrition that you're getting. With the egg whites, it's 60% of the protein of the egg is found in the white. So you're missing out on about 2 grams of protein by throwing away the egg yellows. You're also missing out on biotin, which is really healthy for our hair, for our nails, and all of the fat-soluble vitamins that we talked about that act as antioxidants and lower our risk of chronic disease.
All right, I'm going to have to get rid of that container of egg white and go right back to the normal case of eggs. Listen, great to see you here this morning. Just wanted to, of course, start the conversation leading up to Marketplace tonight. You're a part of that, and we'll look forward to learning more about something. Asha was telling us multi-billion-dollar industry the egg industry is. So many people eat them, and we want to know how they can eat them to their maximum nutritional benefit. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for
Heather.
coming in.